Hey, what's up, folks? Welcome back to another 3D Hangouts. My name is Nova.E, designer here at Adafruit. Joining me every week is my brother Pedro.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Pedro, Creative Tech here at Adafruit, and every week we're here to share 3D printed projects featuring electronics from Adafruit.
That's right. This is the show where we combine 3D printing and DIY electronics to make inspirational projects. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. We are streaming on all the networks. It is Wednesday, May 21st, 2025. This is episode 483. We are hanging out in the Adafruit Discord. If you'd like to join us throughout the show, you can drop us a question, a comment, a GIF, a GIF, a meme, a meme, all of that and more. Let me get you in here, Pedro. There we go. And then the background is that. All right, we're all set. So hello, everybody joining us live. We're also streaming on a few of the networks this week: Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and X. Had a little issue with LinkedIn. Didn't want to go, so we have to go on with the show. Sorry, LinkedIn. What's that?
We'll link it later.
We'll link in later. LinkedIn later. All right. I'll come back to Discord once people start popping in. And why don't we go through adafruit.com/free, and then we'll look at maybe a coupon code after the free stuff. So what is going on at adafruit.com/free? Well, we have 3 different tiers of freebies that people get if you put your orders in. If your order is $99 or more, you get a free PCB coaster with the gold Adafruit logo. If your order is $149 or more, you'll get the PCB coaster plus the Adafruit KB2040 keyboard driver. And if your order is $199 or more, you get the KB2040, the PCB coaster, and free UPS ground shipping for continental US only. And for folks that are watching the show, we have a special 10% coupon code. Be sure to use this at checkout. If you want to get any parts today, it's updates, because we got a lot of updates going on. So updates is the 10% off discount code. Pop that into your checkout, and you can get these freebies if you qualify with the different tiers. Cool. Got that out of the way. Give a shout out to folks over on Discord. We have Duester and Yanni Skoo hanging out there, and on YouTube and the other places, we'll bring folks in as we see them. Yeah. Cool. All right. This week, let's see. Me and Pedro are both working on new projects, and this week's project video is last week's Learn Guide that went live. It is the camera slider project. So last week we took a deep dive into the Learn Guide. We talked about it, and this week we wanted to release the video because it took a little bit of extra time to put it together, but it's out. Folks seem to dig it. And I do have one update because that's the show's coupon code. I kind of wanted to make an enclosure for the custom PCB. So I have here is a snap fit enclosure that I might add to the Learn Guide, or I might do an Adafruit Playground post just to share the files. But it's basically, it takes the PCB mount and it just adds an extra case here. No screws for the case, it snap fits. And it just kind of covers it. It has a little escape hole here for the quick connect wires, and then down here it has those holes for these 2-stepper motors, and of course the DC barrel jack. So just a nice little case for it. It makes it all nice.
Oh, you got the feet attached.
Yep, I got these rubber feet attached to the bottom there, which work out really well. I bought these from Amazon as a kit, and they have like a nice assortment of it, and they're really nice and grippy. So that works really well, but that's the only update I've done to it. Is my camera going weird?
Looks like it's just jittering a little bit or going slow.
Yeah,
I thought it was just my connection.
For me, it's jittering a lot, which is weird.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I see it when you move.
Yeah, that's.
I thought it was just me.
No, it's just. Let me see. There we go. Maybe it's picking up now.
Yeah, that looks good.
Weird. I'm not sure why it did that. Anyway, that's about all I wanted to share. As far as the camera slider project goes, I'll put those files up on something. I don't want to have to go back and like add photos for every little step I'm putting it together. So I might just like on post and be like, here's a case. You can just add it. It uses the same mounting attachment onto the existing carriage. So that's nice. So it's not like a complete redesign or anything. Just a small little update that I wanted to do for it. Yeah. Don't want a feature creep, so that's why we kind of like split it off and like I'll do my own updates as I use it and stuff. So that's that. So check out that project and let us know what you think.
Awesome.
Cool. All right. Do next prototype. I have a prototype and you have a prototype.
Yep. Let's see. You want to go first or you want me to go?
Sure. I'll go and then you can go. Where is my... There it is, at the bottom there. All right. So we were tasked from Lamar, Lady Ada, to recreate this USB key set. So this is our little prototype here. It is 5 keys here. And the idea is that you can kind of create a cord to create a custom macro pad that can make words. So you don't have to like ever leave your finger from the keys. So this was a idea from the, I guess far back as the 60s and then the 80s with the Xerox Alto computer where they had their key set. And Lamore was inspired by this blog post by this fellow here on their website, Rito.com. This person here, Ken, was able to obtain the original Palo Alto key set. So I wanted to do an homage to the mother of all demos, infamous video that shows like how a computer would work in the future. And like, it's pretty on par with what we have today. So here is the Xerox Alto with the key set on the left. And I just wanted to recreate this kind of style of key set. So there's a photo of it there. And then here is my rendition of it being 3D printed. Where is my overhead? Still getting used to these. Yeah, so here it is. It's got a similar kind of case design where the brains are here. It's running a Cutie Pie RP2040. The little hood here flips open, so you can see that they're just chalk key switches that are secured to this little plate. And then you have some edges here that have mounting tabs. Cutie Pie is in the center there. And the keys, although I might not be able to pop them out, they operate on a simple hinge. So there is a little 3D printed post that just goes through all of them and it keeps them in place so that they don't fall out. And they're able to seesaw. And it has a nice travel, nice feeling. And these are just, which keys? I think they're just white. Yeah, they're white chalk key switches. So all that's left for me to do is to solder up these keys, share all the grounds, and then wire it up to all the GPIOs in the Cutie Pie RP2040. Nice. So yeah, really simple. Liz is going to, of course, do the code. And we'll be able to maybe spell out some words using a combination of all these keys.
Very cool.
Yeah. And just a little hood here to cover the electronics. But there's a lot of different versions of the key set, or the cording key set, I guess they call it. So I was able to find a lot of reference photos on the internet. And this is all 3D printed, which is pretty cool. Just a couple screws here for the Cutie Pie holder. And there's supposed to be 3 screws here to hold like the hinge base plate here, the yellow thing. But it kind of just sits in place and doesn't move. So that's kind of nice. But yeah, that's kind of it. Yeah, kind of a simple homage to a ancient in tech world. I guess macro pad didn't really catch on, but why not like remake that? So that's the project. Yeah, we'll see what kind of cool key combinations we can come up with for like making a sentence, or I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I like it. Really good use, as you were saying, as a little MIDI keyboard to make music.
Yeah, it's cool to see these reference, like what they were using it for like copy, paste, move, draw. That is fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. And here's like some old footnotes here. And yeah, pretty cool. And in the demo, in this blog post, talk about how they took the original hardware and made it work as a USB key set, but using the old hardware, which is incredibly hard to find.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the story goes is like the person's daughter like gave it to him, and he like was able to, you know, retrofit it onto an Arduino or something and get it working. Yeah, pretty cool. Check out the blog post too. I'll drop a link in the Discord. But this one made the rounds on all the techie engineering places. Yeah.
So you get a question from Nikita saying, "Will you be playing phonics?" Guessing use it as a MIDI keyboard.
Maybe. Yeah, I guess it could make it into an actual piano keyboard kind of thing. It does have a resemblance to a piano with the piano keys.
Have it be one for the cats.
Oh yeah, it could be fun. Where's my? I need to get used to these scenes.
Oh, sorry, I moved them around. I brought them to the top so they're close to each other.
There's a little bit of wiggle room here. I might add some
oh yeah, a little
something
wall
here. Yeah, some guide rails to keep it, and it'll be built into this. That way they don't shift around, because it's kind of annoying me a little bit. They shift around a lot. Yeah, the only thing that keeps them in place is a little bit here. You can see those, but there's still a little bit of wiggle room for it. And you can see here how it's actuating, well, the actuator, the stem of the keycap. And I went with chalk keys because they're the lowest profile of the Cherry MX style keys. So yeah, it's pretty cool. And then just a little key plate here that they all pop into. So the only bad thing about that is like once you pop these in and then you solder it to the QT Py pins, once you pop them out, you know, the wires won't go through it. So that's one bad thing. I opted out to
It's in the spacing for the, I forget the name of the one that we have that's like in a bar shape.
Yeah, these have different pin outs for those what are they called? The Kale socket switches. They're different. Although we might have, let's take a look.
We did have some chalk.
Yeah, don't we have some chalk?
Yeah.
The thing is though, like I want to keep the cost low, so let's just type in chalk, see what we get.
I was assuming it was too big for that small form factor.
Oh, look. Yeah, maybe I pick these up and then just solder the wires here so that these can pop out. That might be a better idea. That way it's like modular. Yeah, I need to order these then. Cool. Yeah, I forgot we had these. Yeah, so the idea is that you just pop these into, you know, the pins, and then you can use these bits on the side to solder your wires. Although it'd be really cool if we had like quick connects or something, but you still got to solder the pins of the QT Py, so not too bad. Yeah, and then do we have? I think we have a breakout. Yeah, the chalk breakout, but I don't need the LED. It's just too much.
Yeah.
Don't need that LED because it's not. You know, they're literally mounted upside down, and it's like, well, why are we using chalk keys? It's because they're easy to mount, and they feel really nice, right? Like they're meant to feel good when you press them down. So that's why I went with chalk keys. But it's funny how they're mounted upside down, and that's just the way to get this hinge to work, right? Because it's actuating it, and they're upside down, which is funny. But that's the way I got it to work. The original the original cording key set from Xerox, they're actually using what looks like these zippy switches. So they're the end stop switches basically. And those are just like really chunky. So it would be a very big build. Let me quickly show you what I'm talking about. They're these micro end stop switches, and they're giant and they're thick. and they're not as pleasurable to and I'm using in the slider, which is kind of funny. And it works for something big like a foot switch, right? Remember the foot switch projects we were doing? And we have a few different ones of these, ones with giant levers and stuff like that, levers, for like a robot that would like sense an end stop kind of thing. But nowadays, you know, you're doing a keyboard, you're doing a macro pad, you might as well use the chalk key switches. And I'll pick these up so that I think it's low profile enough so that it doesn't crash into the case. We're like like, what would you call it? Like thinking live. So we're all over the place, but it should have enough clearance to like not get in the way of this. Cause I wouldn't want to like make this any thicker, cause I feel like it's already kind of thick.
Maybe at least the height of what the mount or the socket is.
Yeah, I'm already dangerously close to the cutie pie, so you can see there, like I don't have that much room really. I have like a millimeter or two of clearance from the bottom of this switch, and I can't really move the cutie pie anywhere else. So yeah, so you know, some design considerations. This is how we prototype. I haven't looked at this in like a few weeks because I designed this like as I was like putting the guide together, which took way longer than I thought it would because it's such a big build.
Yeah, it's huge.
But yeah, I'm already coming up with some ideas on how to make this a relatively easy and better build just by talking about it out loud, which is nice.
Yeah, I like the post here that Yanni has on Discord. Looks like the acrylic keys that were used. He has a photo of them here in the background. The keys were made out of the acrylic. The lighting on the socket ones with the LED would look cool each time you press, but that's, you know, themed out to something different.
Yeah,
it looks super cool.
Yep. Cool. Yeah, I kind of like this retro case. It almost looks like a synth or something, like a little piano synth. So
that's what I thought.
Yeah, I just like the lever design. Like it's a clever little way to make a piano all 3D printed without any like hardware. It's kind of nice. And I will just be clicking all day. Fun. Yeah, different take on you know, on macro pads. A little retro throwback.
All right, cool.
Yep. All right. And that is my prototype. USB key set, cording set. There's a couple different names for it.
All right.
Yep.
Let's go ahead and jump into my prototype real quick. It is a simple LED clock. So we're going to be using the IS matrix. We've used this before. You made a visualizer with it.
Oh, that's right. I did. Yep.
Audio visualizer. I thought we had two. I couldn't find where the other one was, so I had to order more. But this is the, let me look in the back here, IS31FL 3741 I2C LED matrix driver. So we have the little stemma connector on the bottom here. You kind of see that's how we'll be connecting it up to a Cutie Pie S3, and it will grab the time from the internet, so you won't need an RTC. So Lamar requested for the last clock, she wanted like an alarm and all this other stuff, but we were already feature creeping at that point. So PT suggested one that looks like that one rabbit, Lou Boo Boo.
Lou Boo Boo.
Yeah, I didn't know what it was, so I had to look it up. It looks like it's a little popular toy collectible. Cool artist from Hong Kong that made it. And it's going to have the little ears on it. But I think the main thing is that it's a remix from something that was posted on Cults 3D. It was a Alexa, like a little cover for it. So that'd be a cool idea to make it into, just use our matrices to make a clock from it. And we'll go ahead and add the alarm ability. And then Lamar suggested also being able to change the colors on it. So it'll be on the knob on the back to change the time. Or actually, no, won't need it for that. We'll need it just for the for the volume, I guess, of the alarm clock, and then the color change. And then while we were ideating it, Noah, you suggested to have it auto dim or change like to a red color to better have a for your eyes to adjust better at night. So it'll be 2 of these little guys, and then the cutie pie will connect there. We have the slanted at it's 15 degrees, so it'll look upwards. And then I'll have the ears mounted to there, and then the little.
Oh, you wanted to make it into like the bunny too? Cool.
Yeah. So okay. I'll have the room here for the little smiling teeth, and then the bunny ears will go on top. Just getting the mount and everything to fit on there. Part should get here either today or tomorrow.
Yeah, very cool. So this is the, like you said, the eye. Oh, let me go to this scene. There we go. You see that there? It's the IS31FL3741. So we've never done a project where we daisy chained 2 of these together. So that'll be a first. And it looks like we should be able to get a nice flush end-to-end connection between the 2. Yes. They got the ice, I like that the stemma connectors are up and not like pointing to the left or to the right, because that would make it impossible to have like a super seamless joining of the 2. And you can see here, you can already have a pretty decent font because it's 13:9.
Yeah.
Arrangement. So put those together. That's a 26:9 layout. And then here's that project that you're talking about, the visualizer. Yeah, that could be a cool mode for the clock. Visualizer. Yeah.
Did not even think of that.
Yeah. You would have to add the PDM.
Oh yeah.
DM mic. And then so these are nice. $15 for one of them. It's a lot of LEDs. They're not NeoPixels, they're RGB, and this driver is kind of the hero here for driving all those LEDs. And of course, you get all the colors, so you can make some cool stuff with it. We have a CircuitPython and Arduino demo code and library, so folks can play with that. I think it's the same thing that we did for the LED glasses. These things.
Oh, yeah.
Driver, which I don't think it's like as dense for making a cool clock with like words and stuff. Mm-hmm. And then just for people to get an idea of like how cool of a custom shape you can make these things. This is the Google Home or something.
It says Alexa or something.
Yeah. So this is the kind of smart home speaker thing that we're referencing here. So it's kind of cool to see these light up like that.
Mm-hmm. I will be making the little walls to separate the LEDs, so you do get that pixelated, like boxy effect on the LED.
Yeah,
the little grid.
Right. Yeah. Cool.
Let's see if you can print it. Right. Should be able to.
Okay. Yep. It's kind of small. All right.
Even if it's like thicker than what the LEDs are for it, the line should be able to shine through it. Or maybe it's just infill, so it's not actually real walls. It's just a flat plate, and the infill is just set to whatever a grid infill.
Yeah, I like that idea. Yeah, it's kind of like
we have to model anything. It's just
It's just infill. That's a good idea.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, and just put like a 0 wall or
exactly.
Yeah. 0 top and bottom layers. That's right. That's how you can get that nice grid. Yeah. Cool. Yep. So it'll be alarm clock. It'll have a speaker, right? So that
yes, the speaker will go on top.
Speaker stuff.
3 ohm 4-watt speaker, the little one that goes on top here. So that should snap right in. It's the same one we used on the scooter speaker.
Yeah. And now that I'm thinking about alarm, like how do you stop the alarm, right? Do you need a button?
I think the I was thinking the knob, so that because I was gonna use it
to set
as Gavin's alarm. So we have to sit there, can't easily shut it off or snooze it or whatever. So he has to get up and actually look for the knob to push in to stop it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I think a rotary encoder makes sense then to set the time.
And, because it'll grab it from the internet.
Yeah.
It'll mostly be, I guess, for just color changing or maybe the audio
volume.
I
guess we could do volume. and then
If not, just the
press
color then.
to stop the alarm.
Yeah.
Or we could just have the alarm go off only for 5 seconds, so it auto shuts off the alarm.
Oh,
So
okay.
we don't need any input. That might be better too. Just
Yeah.
no
Okay.
input at all.
Yeah, whatever.
Less
Yeah,
parts, less wiring, less
less
code.
code.
Yeah.
That sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Knobs is just for the colors then.
Yeah. It's cool.
Or even you just set the color through the code. I don't know.
Well, yeah, we want to maybe be dynamic, be like from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. we have it blue, and then at night, from 10 p.m. till 8 a.m. it's red, so that it doesn't mess with your eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe like from 12 to 1 lunchtime, it'll like do rainbow. It just shifts all the
it says
colors.
lunchtime, like the text says lunchtime as a scrolling marquee.
Oh, I didn't even think of adding a little marquee text to it.
Yeah.
Cool comment here from squid.jpg. Aaron saying that he did build a clock when the ISL displays first came out.
Oh, that's so great.
Stack them together, so that should work. And he's saying the diffuser. Oh yeah, definitely the diffuser. These are bright. Yes, these are super bright.
Yeah, we do have black LED acrylic.
Mm-hmm.
Always cut that.
Oh, and heat from it. Yes, I do have the. I forget what the. I think it's 4 millimeter distance from it because of the stemma port that actually doesn't allow you to have it flush up against the screen. So there is like a 4 millimeter gap between it.
Right.
So the heat from that should be. Hopefully that's enough.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Well, not all the LEDs are going to be lit. It's just a few.
That's right.
Just to make a time. Show the time, the numbers.
Setting the alarm. Yep, like you were saying, the rotary encoder in the back.
Yep. Cool. I'm digging this project. Yeah.
The only other thing is really figuring out how to do the texturing that they have, like the little fur they have in the Colts 3D one. I have to bring it like into Fusion, not Fusion, into Blender and like with the sculpt tool.
Oh, like add to the shape, like export out an STL or something, and just add it.
Yeah, I think I want to add like a pretty big fillet to the flat side too, just to make it more rounder.
Yeah.
So still playing with it.
Yep. Just starting it out.
Yeah. And that is my prototype. This little Labubu matrix clock.
Yep. Very cool.
All right. Let's go ahead and jump into this week's rapid render, I think.
Sure. Let me cue it up here. Hello and welcome to Rapid Render. This week we're taking a look at Claude.
Yes, this week we are diving into using Claude to control Blender via the MCP plugin. So we've seen this happen in a couple of tutorials and wanted to go ahead and try it for myself. Everybody on the team has been using AI, specifically Claude, to help do some of the libraries and a lot of the repetitive tasks like fixing things like the GitHub issues or updating like libraries, things that are like so repetitive that it definitely is helpful to have AI help to get a lot of those issues solved. So went over to the GitHub on where the Blender MCP for this is, and all the tutorials were showing some of the directories and paths that are like completely out of date now. So if we like make a learn guide for this, it would definitely be helpful to make these with the updated instructions for installation. Like for installing Brew on your terminal, I'm using a Mac, so that was out of date. So I had to go to like the documents for Brew and UVX and get all the updated commands for that. Initially, I was super scared to do all of this because it's all via the terminal. But after you get over the fears of messing up your whole system, it wasn't too bad in terms of installation. The desktop integration for Claude was the other thing that was a requirement. And even the documentation that they have on their end for setting up the developer tools was a little out of date too. So I was a little confused on where the UI for some of this stuff was. So that would definitely be helpful for making a learn guide. Let's see. So here's where a lot of your tools show up for the things that you're able to do to control Blender. What Claude is doing is writing a bunch of Python to communicate and add the geometry to like build all of the libraries in terms of the UI that is interacting with Blender here. So go ahead and give it the ability to communicate with it. And one of the things I instructed it to do was build a house. So as it's generating all of the instructions for this, you can see what it's typing here. And I love how it's coding all of this. It's like all nice and compact, and like in terms of like structuring all of the commands, you can see here how all of this is being generated. It's all easy to read, just Python. You can see here it's creating the roof. It starts creating like the plane, starts creating like what is it called? The thing where the smoke comes out of.
Chimney.
Chimney, yes, you can see all the words here. Hold on, I should zoom up so you can actually see. So I can actually read what it's typing. Assigning materials, like creating all of your UV texture maps for it, going through and just building out the entire structure for what a house would look like a scene for it. Here you can see, it's scaling the door. It's like having some errors and then correcting itself and going through how to correct those errors and like how to go into the Blender UI. So this is definitely helpful if you're just learning Blender. If you want to like look for a command that you're not sure of, like where it is in the UI or in the window, you can have Claude help you find it and edit it. So here it is, like adding lights. You can see here it says improving lights, like continuing to go in and like build out this whole house scene. So if I just scrub through it, it even adds things that I didn't even think about, like having a little picket fence, adding the trees, adding like flowers to the bed. If I scrub through here, you can see the way that it's building this whole scene. And not even, did I get to the end? Oh no, I didn't show the end of it. It actually made the flowers, like it gave it petals, it gave it like a whole like a whole structure to it. It looked way better than this initial one here, but for editing, I might have not noticed where I cut that out, but it looked a lot better than this. Like I told it to go in and have it build like to make the walls like bricks, and then you could keep going further from that, but I ran out of what is it, the tokens, the
oh, that's funny,
the length. Yeah.
Wow.
So I was like, okay, this is super helpful for starting off like a scene and having everything nicely organized. Like coming from like the Photoshop days, we were always sticklers for it, making sure that our layers were named, that they were all in place and not just scattered all over the scene, or having strokes that were connected to a layer, not just like a random line that's its own layer. So I like how it's doing that. And then the other test that I did was having it create Adabot. So I'm like, all right, take this image and create a pixel or a polygon robot. And here is the prompt that I used: make a 3D robot from this image. So that's cool. That's able to reference not only just images, but of course, like everybody on the team has been using it. You can tell it to go to this GitHub, use this library. So in my case, I'm just having it create from this image. And you can see here how it starts preparing the scene, structuring everything out. And here is how it is first building the block and then making the spheres to have the eyes and the antenna. And yeah, this is super cool because you're able to go, while it's generating all of this, you're able to go into your Blender scene and navigate around it, rotate, make sure it's doing what you want. And it even did cool things like the way that the legs are. It made like the little swirly geometry around his legs, which we rarely ever do. Of course, it's not perfect. So here's what it ended up with
Wow.
before it ran out of the tokens or the length of the conversation. Not the best, but it is still learning to communicate with Blender. But if I had stopped it where it first initially ran out of the what it's called, the tokens or whatever, that would have been cool. I could have gone from there. But this is super cool that the MCPs now that allow you to hook things up through AI stuff to help you generate things editable, completely editable, because before, it would just give what we've been showing up until this point is, just mesh that you would have to bring it into Blender anyway to, completely change, and there was no way to edit. This is all, primitive geometry that you're able to go in and, pull a face or edit a vertice or go into your camera and add more lights and have like a realistic render to it. So that's super cool at the point we're getting to now.
Yeah. Yeah, this is really early days to think of integrating Claude or any other model with existing CAD software.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So some of the other examples too was like telling it to edit the texture maps and place the camera where they want and have it do like a realistic render of things. I didn't get to that point, but I have seen some of the demos where they were doing that. That's super cool in terms of, helping to generate a fast image or a scene for whatever project.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's cool to see some more procedural things like I think I saw an Instagram reel of someone making a grid of like let's say 4x4 cubes, and that could be kind of painstakingly cumbersome to put together with like patterns and stuff, but with a simple Python script that was written by Claude, it would like kind of do it for you, which is kind of cool. Yeah. Yeah, very cool. Any other fun stuff you want to talk about? The installation process was pretty straightforward, or it wasn't straightforward yet.
No, I struggled a bit in that, just only because how fast everything updates.
Yeah, that's one thing too. It's like, I don't know if we should make a learn guide, because as soon as we publish it, the instructions are going to change. Maybe Blender one day will just have it built in.
We were laughing about like maybe the next OS is going to have all of this already with all the libraries already installed.
So yeah, but cool. No, this is cool. I like this use of Claude. A lot of folks on the team are already doing this. So yeah, very cool. All right. And that is this week's Rapid Render, Claude AI with Blender. All right.
So
yeah, might have to get a account, like an Adafruit account, so we can play around with it more.
Yeah, I didn't want to use up all the minutes.
Right.
But let it stop there. Man, bummed I didn't show the end.
Oh yeah, the end result. Yeah.
Yeah, it looked way better than this. Like,
well, we could revisit it next week too and be like, all right, and here's even more. Now that because this is your first test. I mean, obviously it's like basic, because it's like my kid's first, my AI baby AI's first, 3D scene.
Yeah.
You can see like pick a fence, like none of the things are connected, and
no, it was more finished. Like so finished that I went into the X-ray mode and was looking on the inside to make sure it didn't hide anything inside of the house or the structures or the trees. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah. How long do you think it took to generate this? Like where we're at right now, like an hour, 30 minutes?
No, I think maybe 15 minutes. I want to say somewhere around that time, because it kept adding things, and then you could see in the terminal of each instruction that it's doing, it's like run into problems, but it would fix it itself. So that's kind of interesting to see how it's sort of like talking to itself to fix things that it's trying to go around inside of Blender. So it feels like it itself is still learning how to navigate inside of Blender.
Yeah,
They're looking for workarounds.
yeah. Wow. Yeah, and this GitHub, what would you call it? It's an add-on. The MCP is what, modal control protocol.
Is that what came up? I should have looked it up.
That's what the GitHub website.
Yeah.
said. I was like, okay, that's what MCP is, modal control protocol.
I should have put the
protocol for Claude AI to like integrate with whatever app you want.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm guessing the GitHub thing just has some instruction sets for the different features that it can plug into in Blender.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were saying, since Blender is so open source, they'll probably add that in like already as a plugin, like a default plugin that's part of it.
Where's your GitHub video?
Oh, it's the other one. It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Blender MCP. So just search for that on GitHub. It says it connects Blender to Claude AI through the modal context protocol. Oops, I said it wrong. Allowing Claude to directly interact with the controls. Integrate enables prompt assisted 3D modeling, scene creation, and manipulation. And the project has 9 contributors. Yeah, seems pretty 1.1 already.
I have a Discord too, so you can join inside that.
Yeah.
List of all the things you'll need: the brew, the UVX.
Right, it needs Python 3 and Blender 3 or newer.
Yeah. And unfortunately, like, you are going to have to go to each library that you need. Documentation to get the updated install.
Yeah. It runs like a Raspberry Pi project. I got to go and like install this Linuxy stuff, which is fine. It's just part of the deal.
There was like a video tutorial too that I watched that they link here. But again, that was also showing
because the stuff's changing every week. Yeah.
And it was only like 3 months old, I want to say, the YouTube video that I watched.
Wow.
And already all of the libraries are, the paths and even the install scripts were already old.
Yeah, that's such a Raspberry Pi Linuxy thing where your paths are always different. They're always changing. All the Python scripts change. Cool.
All right.
I hope to see this for Fusion 360 one day.
Yeah.
So I can create a custom plugin or something.
They're probably working on it as we speak, because this is super helpful, having it create, like patterns or things like that will be super helpful and speed up workflow.
Yeah. And then the whole angle of accessibility, like I have issues with my hands, or
you're right.
if I can use my voice to model and get modeling work done by just talking, dictating, that's a huge thing. At some point, we're all going to be needing either robot hands or just user speech robot hands.
Yeah, that's a big one I didn't even think about.
Oh yeah, that's the one thing.
It's huge.
Yeah, it's huge. All right, good stuff. And that's yeah. All right.
This week's community makes for this week's Timelapse Tuesday is this little portable tic-tac-toe keychain. So every time we go to any of the restaurants that have like the coloring sheets for the kids, they always have like a tic-tac-toe on there. And the kids always want to play. So when I saw this one show up, I was like, this is perfect for the kids. We have been on the theme of making little kids tools and toys.
Yeah.
And this one is definitely up there in the same theme. This one, I like how it is multicolor, but it is snap on.
Oh, that's
good. Assemble it by snapping on. Definitely saved in terms of time.
No waste.
No waste. No purge buckets needed for this one. Everything nicely snaps into place. Even the little bars that rotate the squares. And there's a little hole on the side, so it is like a little portable keychain for your tic-tac-toe. And I didn't get any footage of the kids. I think they're all doing their schoolwork while I was filming this, but I did get like some snaps of it, or like the behind the scenes of building this, and they both were already trying to take it away before the show.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, they love it.
Very cool.
Yeah, you have your blank space, your X, and your 0.
Mm-hmm.
Just rotate these around. Nice little clip on the side here that is holding everything together. It just sandwiches the little bars that these squares will plug into. And yeah, super nice. Should take about, I had it listed there. I think it's like 3 hours, 3.5 hours for printing all of the parts. And it is a super cool little way to keep the kids entertained.
Yeah. So it's the design is on makerworld.com, and the designer who posted up is going by Nova.E, and they have a couple of photos here of it. Cool. A little bit of description, long description. Yeah. And it's just one version. There's one with the keychain, so you can see it there. Pick your colors, all sorts of fun colors, and it is a free model, so check it out. Yeah.
Cool.
I like their breakdown of like all the colors and the amount of material used. 31 grams of material in total. Yep. Good stuff. No supports needed. All right. And that's this week's Timelapse Tuesday. All right. And that's going to do it for the show.
Oh, we had a quick one for the shop talk. Just
oh, that's right.
The kids taking some 3D printing classes in the college, and of course we wanted to just get them an easy to use printer so I don't have to be in there while I'm working on projects. I can't split my time up so much to help them out. So the most easiest one to get was, of course, the bamboo. And would you know it, they just had them inside the Best Buy, so I didn't even have to order anything. We just went right in and picked one up. And the Best Buy that we have here, they had just ran out of filament. They had like one PLA spool left, but they even had these other printers here. One from Anchor. I've never heard of that one before. Where is it? I show it right at the beginning. Yeah.
So, yeah, I thought that was an A1.
Yeah,
I guess Anchor has a.
I'm guessing everybody's gonna start using the bamboo style ones, but that was super cool that we're just able to pick it up there and set up. Of course, it's the same as setting any of the other ones up. Super fast and efficient. Lots of screws to remove because of how they package it, and then the self tests and all that. We were able to hook it up to the app that it uses, and it's super cool to see how it handles networking of multiple printers. It's just a drop down that you select. Of course, how you load everything, even the kids were able to load. And Gavin's been using Tinkercad, for a while now, so it was cool that he was able to sit down and right away start using a tool that we haven't even used in it, the pen tool. So he was able to make like a quick little sign while we were setting up the printer, and he was able to immediately have it go to be the first print. And all I had to do was just show him, how to set up the inside the paint bucket tool. That's the only thing I had to show him, like how to color the top layer of the model. And then you were there on the on Face Chat to see him remove his first print. And it was a cool little sign on using the text tool inside of Tinkercad, and the pen tool to generate that. And then what's cool is Brandy is able to go in there and just through the iPhone app to grab models for whatever animal of the week that the kids are learning about, and just print one that is to the same theme. Set up the colors and all that. It's so easy. Like in bed, we'll just sit there and look for models and have them prepared right from there. And that's so cool. We just saw who was it? Make Inspires show how all the kids are able to not spend any time on troubleshooting anything and just focus all their time just design and getting prints out. So that's super cool. Just wanted to for shop talk the kids version show how throw another hat at how great these printers are, able to let the kids focus on just designing things.
Yeah. And you got the wife roped in on making her own projects and stuff.
Yeah. We for Maker Supply on the Maker World. I love how they have all of the components, like things that are designed around a bunch of the components that they sell. So she was able to grab like clock parts and like print out a little clock's worth, the little character from Beauty and the Beast, and just make a little clock. Yeah. And the prices are really good too. It was like $6 for all of the pieces.
Cool.
Yeah, this is the scene that I'm seeing now in their little
Nice
school room.
So now you got 2 bamboos, but one's for the kids. So you got to make sure that they if you want to do 2 prints, you got to ask the kids like, hey, can I use your printer now?
I'm sure it'll come up.
So it's reversed. Yeah.
It's like, oh no, it's dire. I need to print 2. That's a big project.
That's funny. Yeah.
And I like the way that's set up too. We didn't have to print a poop bucket. It just goes right into one of like the shipping boxes.
Yeah.
Where the table is, it just shoots it out.
Nice. Cool. Did you notice any differences in the unboxing? It's the same package from the ordered one, and yeah, it's the same box.
No, the only thing that was updated on it was the firmware. Like what I told you, the UI for the updated firmware is completely different. I still have not updated the one.
Me neither.
I'm scared because it's always like I'm right in the middle of printing something or you know. So it's like, oh no, I have to make time for it.
Cool. All right. Well, yeah.
That is this week's shop talk.
All right.
And a shout out to the bamboos.
Very nice. Okay. That's gonna do it for the show. Did you change the screen here? What happened?
I did not.
I'm on 2 screen. Why is it showing? There it is. Okay, I wanted to rope back into the coupon code if folks want to put your orders in. The coupon code is good for the next 24 hours. It expires tomorrow. So if you want to put an order in, you can get 10% off your whole order with our coupon code updates. And we'll have another coupon code tonight on Ask an Engineer. Tonight is the return of Lamar and Phil hosting Show and Tell. It starts at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time every Wednesday. And come on by the Adafruit Discord server a little bit before then, and they'll drop the StreamYard link so folks can join in and share their projects. And then at 8 p.m. tonight is Ask an Engineer. We'll hopefully see some new products, INMPI maybe, top secret stuff, and your questions will get answered at the end of the show. All right. I think JP is back.
Is he? I think he just went on vacation now.
Check the Adafruit blog. That's you'll know if JP is back doing workshops. Normally, JP's workshops are on Thursdays at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Fridays are deep dives with Tim Foamy Guy, while Scott is on paternity leave. These happen every Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern or 2 p.m. Pacific Time. Sundays are live streams from Lady Ada, from the desk of Lady Ada. Mondays are the CircuitPython weekly meeting. Tuesdays normally are JP's product pick of the week. And we wrap back around to Wednesdays where we do 3D Hangouts at 11 a.m. And then these 2 shows follow in the evening.
All right, you're looping around.
Yep, I am.
Looking at the email here, he says he will be gone on vacation Tuesday through Friday, May 20th through 23rd.
All right, we'll see JP next week then.
Yes.
Yeah, I saw him post something on Basecamp, and I was like, oh, is he back?
It was on his phone.
Ah, I see. Okay. Yeah. Cool. All right, folks. Well, thank you so much for joining in. We appreciate everybody watching live and everyone watching the archive as well. We'll be back next week, hopefully with a new project released.
At least updates.
At least more updates. Yeah. All right, that's gonna do it. All right, folks. We'll see you next week. Until then, remember to make a great
great
day.
day.
Bye, everybody.